like it has some discoloration, but that's probably not from religion. It's probably something else, and so you might want to take a look at it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not a cat. I'm sorry.
I just thought you were cool enough to kick it. Got a beach house, I could sell you an Idaho. Since you think I don't love you, I just thought you were cute. That's why I kiss you. Got a fighter jet, I don't get to fly it, though I'm lying down thinking about you. Oh, no, 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 I've been thinking about you. You, no, 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 I've been thinking about you. Do you think about me still? Do you? Or do you not think so far ahead? Yes, of course. I remember, how could I forget how you feel? You know you were my first time.
Hey y'all. Come on in the room. We are back tonight to talk about a show I was never going to watch on my own. I was never going to watch this. And y'all know what? If I would have never watched it, I would have been missing out on some of the most wholesome, beautiful TV I've seen in a very long time, especially in the reality space. And it's because of none other than Tyra over here at Struggle Reviews TV. Come on to the stage, ma'am. And how did you get on to Love on the Spectrum, Tyra? How did we get here?
Well, I have my little piece of background as a teacher. And I work with so many different kids. And it's rare that you get to see these kids in adulthood. And I was just curious. I was like, I wonder how they're going to be portrayed because reality TV gets over into the salacious exploitation territory. So I was like, I was just curious, and if it gave me any reason to draw back within that first episode, I was going to briefly cut it off. And then I watched it. I was like, oh my god. This is the best thing I ever seen. This is the best thing I ever seen. I got to tell everybody why. I need to tell everybody who's not watching this show to watch it. And Ashley became a part of my everybody, and we're getting to season 3. And Ashley was like, "No, I don't know. I was like, Ashley, please, just watch it. It's nothing I can explain. You gotta experience it for yourself because it looks like it's going to be a certain way, and it's completely different. It's the best thing since sliced bread."
Totally different, y'all. Totally different. And so we are going to be jumping into it with the utmost respect because listen, there's nothing. These men folk are real men folk, okay? Out here in these dating streets, and we're going to jump right into it. But first, let's welcome the people who are already here in the building. We appreciate you so much because you show up night after night after night. Pretty girl, what's good? Hope you are doing well. Hey, Tremaine. Hey, Tony T. What's going on? Anakin, not Vader. Hey, Darfalina. What's going on? Ashley Williams, Etu. Brute. Absolutely. I was crying from season 1 through season 3. Absolutely. Hey, Lynn. Good to see you. Been missing you, Lynn. Been missing you, but it's so good to see you. Vic says perfect timing. I just got home from work. Well, jump on in. I hope everyone finished it, you guys. One of the benefits of being in the Discord is that we watch so much of this stuff all the time. We literally sat up and binge watched Love on the Spectrum, I think until we fell asleep or
Sorry. I was trying, y'all. Oh, no, at midnight. I was asleep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
But we definitely went down through there. And so we're going to approach this a little bit differently because, again, I want to talk about each of these people and their journey to love Tyra because ultimately, whether you're on the spectrum or not, having a companion, someone to share life with, to do things with is so important. So I want to know from you overall thoughts on the series as a whole in totality.
Rena, I've been watching this since season one, and we've had our repeat offenders on there, our Tanners of the world, and it was just really nice to see how they have grown. Even if we just met them in season two up until now, I was like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Like the growth was great. I just loved it. And my boys walked away with some people. My boys walked away with some affection. My boys walked away, whether it was companionship or just the experience of it all. You're just here like on pins and needles with all of them. Like, I really hope they find somebody. I really hope they work out. I really hope they like this person. I really hope that they put themselves out there and don't retreat because they're scared or, things are a little awkward due to them being on the spectrum. And it's just like, I want to get out of here. Just, can we find love? We in season 3. Come on, James. I was here for all of that. And I just thought it was just so positive just to watch that growth. That's what amazed me the most, whether it was James, whether it was Tanner, whether it was just everybody, the way that they were interacting, the way that they were expressing themselves. It improved so much from that first or that second season. And even our newcomers here, like we get a lot of different variations of the spectrum depending on who we're talking to, but a lot of the young ladies that we met this season, they were very out and just very comfortable. I was like, oh, this is nice, because it's almost like we have to start fresh, like from the beginning, and kind of gradually do things. No, the girls here, the girls showed up and was like, yeah, I'm trying to be a princess, I'm trying to be a mermaid, I'm trying to be kept, I'm trying to be married. Well, my name dropped. I was like, okay, I was here for that. But yeah, I'm always gonna embrace every single thing that this show has to offer. It's like you're sitting and you're receiving all of these endorphins, and it just makes you happy and warm.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. My trepidation came with the show because I was like, I don't want to see this. I do not want them to be made a spectacle for our entertainment, right? That was my biggest fear going into this. And after I watched the first episode of season 1, I was like, oh, this is nothing of the sort. This is nothing of the sort. And I was just astonished by the ability of all of these individuals to effectively communicate their wants, their needs, and their boundaries, and not only communicate them, but stand on big business. I was encouraged. I was inspired. I felt like there's hope for the rest of us if these people were able to clearly say, no, these are my deal breakers, and I'm standing on it. And no, I'm not going to hem and haw. I'm not going to tell you a lie. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to apologize profusely, but I'm going to tell you what it is, and I'm going to move on. I honestly, in my heart of heart, feel like if everyone dated how these singles dated throughout these 3 seasons, the world, marriages, everything would be on such a much better playing field. Like,
Absolutely. There's no pretense with everybody. It's pure, unfiltered truth. And even their boundaries, I feel like just speaking for myself, I'm not even going to speak for anybody else. Like, there's so much give I'm willing to give and accept, where it's just like, oh, okay, it's just that one thing, or it's just that. Here they're like, no, what? You don't like Lion King? Oh, you got to go. You got to go. You have to like Lion King. Like, it's just. It could be the bare minimum of anything, and it's just like, maybe next time this just wasn't the person for me. And I was like, oh God, we out here settling, and we didn't even know.
Absolutely. Like I said, it was encouraging. It was a reality check on a lot of things. And not only that, I think the most special part of it was to see how many of these people are living on their own or living with roommates, and they're functioning in society, and they're working, they're holding down jobs. They own businesses, some of them. And it's just incredible. And it got me outside of my mind and how we stereotype things. And absolutely, Vic, we we not going to tier 15. We're not
You
going to
don't want
tier
to go to tier 15? Connor said, "Oh, we're not doing tier 15. You got to go."
Absolutely no tier 15. So let's go get on into it. And who did this is what I wanted to know. And so originally, apparently, there is the original version of Love on the Spectrum is in Australia. Now, am I going to venture into those streets? I don't know. But it is an American reality TV show based on the Australian version by the same name that follows people on the autism spectrum as they explore the dating world. The show is produced by Northern Pictures for Netflix and is created and produced by both Karina Holden and Cian O'Clery. O'Clery also served as the director, and that's who we'll hear James give production notes to. Like, can we start this over? Can we run this back? I have a specific intro that I want to do, but I will give kudos to the creator and director because I felt the respect in this. I felt the dignity that he gave each of these cast members. Do you have any comments on his direction of the series and what you think of how they presented it for Netflix?
Oh, the same. It's been very consistent for all 3 seasons. This season may have been the first time where I was like, I would have maybe rather we handled that differently. And it was still pretty minor. But other than that, there has been so much respect. And you can tell by the way that they embrace him. Nobody here has, too much of any filter. But season after season, they're really happy to see him like, hi, like, hey, I missed you. Like, yeah, I missed you too. Like, and it's just all so genuine. So if there was ever any beef, we would definitely know because they're going to tell you. But every time they're happy to catch up with this man. So he's definitely doing something right.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's a oh Lord. I've seen so many documentaries and exposés in movies where I feel like the directors it was an audition in exploitation period. Like that was their mission, and this just didn't feel like that at all. And so I was wrong, and I can admit that. So before we get into each of these individuals, Tyra, I need to know from you and from you guys in the chat. Be sure to drop it down there. Be sure to share, like the lives, comment, do all of the things, y'all, so we can get this pushed out. But who is your favorite on the season 3 cast? I'm Tyra. Who's the fave?
How would you ask that? Like,
'Cause I need
first
to
of all, Tanner has been my guy since I've met Tanner, okay? But the way Connor popped out this season, like I just can't deny Connor. Connor showed up in a big, massive way and grew beyond what I could ever hope to see. And it was just like, oh my God, I'm loving this. I'm enjoying life. This feels so good. Like, yes, Connor. I'm all the dramatics. It seems like gradually from that second season, Connor has gotten more and more comfortable in front of the camera, and he's not Connor is just dramatic when he wakes up, when the sun comes up. So the fact that we're getting more into that, give my boy a role. Put him on TV, put him in a play, put him in a production, because it's all there. You can't tell me that he can't put my boy on what ain't no Game of Thrones. What is it? What is the other one?
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, put him over there. Put him over there with them Tyrians, whatever they are, the Targaryens. Put him over there. He belongs there. Give my boy a Bridgerton situation. Just put him somewhere, y'all, because he's performative in the best freaking way. Connor, relationship wise, just grew so much with me with how he embraced Georgia, who we're getting to, but it was just beautiful. So just for this season, and it hurts because I love Tanner down, I gotta go with Connor.
Oh my gosh. I never thought you would leave Tanner. And I didn't think I would leave Tanner either. Because after I finished season 2, I was like, Tanner is my baby. I love Tanner down. Yes, Tanner, your purpose in the world is to spread joy and kindness. That is your purpose, sir. I loved him down. Also love James. I love the sword wielding Lucius Malfoy. I love James down. He tickled me, and the way he was going to stand up for women's rights every single time, Tyra, I have no right to tell a woman what she's going to do with her body. Like, that's unheard of. Like, who do you think you are? Like, James is that guy. But I must say, Connor I didn't like Connor last season. This season, I loved Connor there. He said, must I write you a poem? He says, Georgie, you're doing something to me. Can you play the theme song right now? I feel like this is a new moment in my life. I love Connor. I like how he talks to his mama crazy. I love everything about Connor this season, Tyra.
Oh my God, do you want me to put it in a poem? What do you want me to do, Mom? Oh my God, this is so dramatic. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I've never felt feelings like yes, Connor. It's just dramatic. Like Connor's gonna do in 5, 4, 3. Like Connor, okay, Connor, let's go. I'm in the scene with you. It's dramatic as hell.
But I adore him. Like I live for that. And Tyra is absolutely right. Put him on somebody's big screen. He belongs there. Okay. He's gonna quote you down and he's gonna slip into an English accent at the drop of a hat. Love, love, love. So now let's get into each of these cast members individually and their journeys this season in season 3. This season we meet Tanner, who of course is a kind young gentleman, okay, still single but dating. We saw him make a couple of connections this season, and I adore Tanner. Tanner is about living his life, Tyra, having a great time, and he's going to be good and kind about it too, and he's going to tell you all about it because his gorillas are his favorite animals. He's going to take you to a petting zoo. The way that they plan these dates, girl, I don't know. Now, they did hook him up with who we thought was an elderly woman. She was not elderly.
I
This
know.
woman was age appropriate, okay?
I
Um,
told you.
but the way we have been saying, Tanner does not need a quiet somebody because whenever they went to the goat farm, the quiet girl, that was not it. That was not the move for Tanner. He needed this second young lady. However, it just wasn't steam heat apparently because by the end of the season, Tanner left alone, but they were still very good friends. Again, love to see his journey, love to see his interactions. Of course, his sister loves them down. Everybody loves Tanner. And I think what's most special about him is the fact that even outside of dating, his family relationship, he actually has strong friendships with
Mhm.
people that he goes out with. These are his roommates. I mean, they put hot dogs in the microwave for 20 minutes and let it cool. Um, I enjoyed seeing I enjoyed seeing Tanner's
Girl,
autonomy and independence. What about you, Tyra?
it was the chicken strips with cheese slices for me. I was like, all right, it's make it a meal, make it enough. Okay. I love Tanner. I love Tanner. Anytime Tanner just gets on the camera, I'm just like, like, and I like dogs. I like cats. I like gorillas. I like kids. Tell me more, Tanner. Tell me more about the zoo. Like, I'm just here for it. What you're not gonna do is play my boy Top though. You're not gonna play on Tanner's Top. I think because of where Tanner may be intellectually, and there's this vivacious energy about him, that's very childlike. They seem to match him with people who are maybe more of the same mentally, but vocally, it's just absent every single time. They're not saying anything, and it's just like the way when Tanner said he was like, "Oh yes, respectfully, it's gonna be a no for me, dog." I just don't think she's vocal enough for me. Yeah, cute girl, cute. Do you see the material? Saw it, but yeah, you're not gonna work for me because I like to talk. I was like, you better speak up for yourself, Tanner, because I don't know what they doing in the department. I don't know what y'all doing in the department for my boy Tanner, but when he met her, I was just like, give him someone with some more energy, someone who likes to speak and vocalize things. Just because he may be on this part of the spectrum doesn't mean that he's not going to vocalize his interests, his wants, his desire. Because I want to go to the zoo, I want to hang out, I want to see some animals, and I want to kiss, and I want to dance.
Mhm.
We need to get into those things. And if you can't match that energy, don't set me up on a date with him. So I was happy that he was vocal here. And when he finally found someone that he was interested in, and she was, even possibly, more of a conversationalist than he was, and it was great for him. I was like, yeah, thank you. Now we're cooking. We're cooking. I was just really excited for that. And with Tanner, I'm never like harboring over him just having a consistent like relationship. I'm just like, Connor is, good with, a friend or just someone he's seen on a regular basis and they're having a good time and we go and hang out and we have, kisses on the cheeks because we're going to be respectful. We're going to pay that check. We're going to pull out that chair. I'm going to give you the shirt off my back because it's raining, okay? The respect and the humble, like, girl, the maturity and the gentleness. There's this gentleness, but there's always, a need to cater, ask for permission. Is that okay? Is that okay? Like,
Is
can I
the
do that?
honey.
We gonna get consent every time. All of them, though. All of them, which is great. I was like, what are we doing? Huh? I don't know what we're doing. And I hate that I feel like that part of consent has been instilled in them for that boundary, because they are very vocal about early on them being bullied and picked on and not accepted. And maybe they did go out into the world and act in a way that maybe wasn't acceptable to someone else because they didn't know them. So now they're trained to, is that okay if I do that first? Like, we need to get where the class is at. Where the
Yeah.
class is at, because we need to get over there. Did my boy find, solid love? No, but I think he was just feeling accomplished in the sense that I did meet someone and I did have a good time with her and we danced and we talked. It can happen. It is possible. I love Tanner Down. Give him my phone number.
Oh my goodness. Yes. And here's the thing, and so many people have said it. He's an angel on earth. Diamond said that Tanner is just lovely. There is something about his spirit that is so pure and so kind and so good. It's just rare to even see it on TV, let alone in real life. He is just a blessing to this world. I hope and wish nothing but the best for him. And I think you're right. I don't think it's so much about having that romantic thing, but it might be. But I think it's more about the companionship of a lady friend. He likes dating. He likes getting a little kiss on the cheek. He likes that. And I did enjoy the banter between he and his most recent conquest, I guess. I thought that their dynamic was really cute. She was quite a talker. And there was no dead space because we had seen him struggling on some of
Girl.
the earlier dates after he was coached, well, what if I run out of things to say? Like, I don't know what else to say. With this last young lady, it gave me hope as well. Like, no, there is going to be someone that Tanner can meet that's going to match his fly, okay?
Yeah.
And will be able to carry the conversation. I do think it's interesting because if you look, like we talked about, autism is a spectrum. And so you have some that are higher functioning than others. And by all intents and purposes, you wouldn't think Tanner would be living independently or have the autonomy he does. So I love that he's represented here so well. And another note that I had just for him was the amount of love and care and energy that his family had to pour into him for him to be like this is incredible to me. He's so well mannered. He's so kind. Like, I could gush for an hour about Tanner, Tyra, because Tanner's him.
He is. And he knows it.
He absolutely is. Next we have, and I don't even give them their own separate ones because they're an entity. The twain are one at this point. I'm waiting on the wedding. I thought, honestly, because listen, here's the thing. The thing about David is he gonna pull you out. He gonna drop that Tiffany's bag. Like, David is going to show up and show out for his woman. And when Abbey dropped the mixtape at the end of the season, Tyra, listen, this is a love that they write about for the movies, honey. This is a love hopefully all of us find one day, because when I tell you this is kismet, I feel, and I didn't know in the first season when they met, I was like, is this gonna, because again, they're on a different side of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
But the way that their families have merged to support them, the way he flew her and her mama and his sisters out to Africa.
Yes.
Go on safari in season 2, and now him just doing the absolute most for her. I adore them, Tyra. Now we do know that they are now well, you can answer this for me. Did we get any clarity on the intimacy? Because from what I can tell, it seemed like the way they in the mouth, Tyra.
In the mouth. They gonna love on each other, okay, if they don't do nothing. There was, that conversation of, oh my God, like, it's getting heated. Maybe time to have that little birds and the bees talk with them, because it's getting hot over there next to the lions. They're really trying to, can you feel the love tonight up in that room? Yeah, there wasn't any confirmation that they have taken that step, but regardless of that, like, this is just so beautiful.
It is. Damn.
This is so beautiful. Like, they have been, the constant couple for me from this. And when we're getting into the spectrum and higher functioning, just that little bit that makes a difference in David maybe being a tad bit higher than Abbey has made such a difference in her life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Abbey, first couple, see, this is a different Abbey.
Oh, for sure.
This is a different Abbey. Like, you're slowly seeing the both of them mature, and Baby, Abby said, I want my name dropped. So when you're proposing, I need the ring now. I need a husband now. Like, oh, do you think he's going to propose? Like, so what if he does? Like, oh, do we cohabitate? Where do we go? Like, I was like, yes, Abby. Like, just that expectation being set, because anybody could look at their mental state and just like, oh, they're just, be okay with whatever. Abby said, absolutely not. There are expectations that need to be met, and David is meeting them every single season. The way, where's the bank? Okay, the way David's gonna drop a bag. Okay, the way that David is gonna drop a bag. That's what I love about every single one of them here. I don't know if that's, and I really don't think it is, because they have such a giving nature. But with them being on the spectrum, they are so receptive to every single thing you say. And they listen to every single thing you say. So if you said you like this one thing this one time, I'm bringing it to you the next time I see you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm bringing it to you. Bracelets got them. Trips got them. Lions got them. Like the gifts, and it's not even just like the more expensive. Like it's just so sentimental, and it'd be the simplest of things. Like I'm trying to sign up. I'm trying to be a part of it. I mean, like, I always struggled in math class. I really feel like I could be at the function. Okay. I'm trying to go over there. I'm trying to see what that be like. It's just really, really special. And just to see them evolve, and hopefully, this turns into, because the family is like, we're already here. We just waiting on a marriage so we can make it official. We really, really family. But just to hear that Abby's moving more independently, and, they're going out and they're venturing. And I could have never fathomed this in the beginning. And we haven't really, got into David's people, but Abby's mom, in that sense of, if I leave tomorrow, she's going to have someone and she's going to be okay. And just how emotional she gets, just be like, oh. And that's what every, parent wants for their child. If something happens to me, I want to know that they're okay. And I know it's even heightened with them being on the spectrum. So it's just beautiful. But the gift giving, and Abby with her song, she did her absolute big one. It was beautiful. I was like, girl, Abby, you wrote that? Abby. I just look forward to where they are in another season, because every single year they seem to progress more and more.
Yeah. Vic said it. David is happy making Abby happy, and vice versa. It's beautiful to see. Like, this is what we all need to see in our relationships in real life. Because here's the thing. One thing about David is he's going to show up as the man, period. And I'm glad you brought up mom, because there was a time when Abby's mom was like, like you said, I was scared. Like, what's going to happen to Abby, when the inevitable happens. And now that she's met David, I don't fear anymore. Like when she's with him, she's calm. He doesn't judge her. She gets to show up as her absolute self, and he loves her down really bad. Like, and that's what, it doesn't take much for a man to be a man. Like,
girl,
protection. Like, where are we going to go? He's like, San Diego, an apartment. Well, what about, whatever else? Don't worry about that.
Well, what if somebody comes out of me? What if somebody leaves off a boat and they land on me, David? What am I going to do? Nothing, because that's not going to happen. You're going to be okay. It's just that reassurance. Yes. Like, real man. Okay.
Real man. I love it. It's beautiful. I hope they film their wedding. I hope we get a glimpse of it, because this just goes to show that there is somebody for everybody, and love can be beautiful, and it should be healthy, and it should be safe, and you should be able to be yourself, and you should enjoy serving and loving each other, y'all. This is honestly a masterclass in what relationships should be, in my opinion, what dating and relationships should be. Just gonna sit it right there, because I'm gushing, y'all.
I ain't gonna say no names.
Next we have Danny, and I said forever virgin here, but I don't believe that Danny's gonna be a forever virgin, because I was on her Instagram the other day, and she got a man, okay? And they traveling to all the cons, all the conferences, and I believe they're sharing a room. I think Danny got that peen that she'd been wanting all 3 seasons. But Danny is an animator, a business owner, and she's on a quest for real intimacy. I love Danny. I love Danny from the first moment I met her. I love her creativity. I love that she's close with her aunt and uncle, and that she knows what she wants. She says, no, I need a man in animation. He's got to be passionate about animation. I don't know how many guys she was like, yeah, no, he's not into animation. It's not going to work. And not only that, Danny has a standard, because what you would never be is broke and approach her. Because how you know
Who gonna foot the bill? Huh? Me? Hell no.
she said, and who's gonna, you know what? Who's gonna pay for that, Auntie? Me, because he has no money. And I don't like and so this season we actually see her with Adon, who she met in season 2 and paid him dust. He is attending school at USC Berkeley, I think, for animation. He's into animation, and they met, but it didn't work. She was feeling somebody else that didn't like her in season 2, and so in this season we see them dating, we see them loving on each other, celebrating anniversaries, and all is cute until it comes down to his religious moral conviction. Right? He was willing at one time to have the talk about Smex, and when it came down to it, he told his daddy, listen, I'm just not ready. He had to have a real conversation with Danny, like, I'm not ready right now, but it's really up to you what you want to do in the relationship. And Danny said, you got to get the hell on, because I want the D. There's nothing here. I'm not waiting till marriage. Danny's not. She said, I need it. I want it. Gots to have it. And poor thing, she couldn't give it away. It was always, you know, and I think she was just approaching the wrong guys. That's what I think, Tyra. But talk to me about Danny and Danny in season 3 and Adon. What did you think of their relationship?
CJ, don't you give any ounce of commentary for something that you didn't watch. Now, if you've watched this, then you are more than welcome to say something about it. But there is no no predatory type of situations happening here on the show. I don't want you to make assumptions off of something you haven't seen. The way Danny is hiding the pants, and I love it. Like, Danny thighs are in heat, and I love it. Like, I've loved Danny since I met her. Not only that, but her just being so goal and career focused, because you're on the spectrum, somebody will write you off, not only intellectually but sexually. You don't. What do you want? You have a sexual appetite. They're probably just carefree, and they're going to dilute things down to be something childish. She's like, no, I want the sex. Now she says intimacy, and I always laugh because we know that there are so many levels to intimacy, and I know I don't want to say as women, but as ourselves, like when we speak of intimacy, we're really like talking about the sexual act. We're like, we want everything else that comes along with before we even get there. And just, someone being attentive, pretty much everything her man's was. And then some, or the relationships that we do see, like with Abby, like, oh, all this intimacy. But in Danny's mind, I'm not equating it to that because I've already experienced that. Intimacy to me at this point is just the sexual act. Where's the sex? Okay? Where is it? Like, I just hope Danny gets some. First of all, Danny is a baddie. we go, throw that on the ground. Danny is a baddie. She is immensely attractive, and she desires to have intercourse. And as much as I love you, as cute as you are, this year, probably next year, it would have been a blast. I'm here for it. Baby, when Danny's gift was an animation of them ending up in the bed, I was like, all right. All right, Danny. All right. And we've seen this with her, time and time after every single season, to where she does meet someone and she has that strong desire, and they just don't have it. And it's just disappointing every time, because it's like, girl, can you give it away, Danny?
And I wasn't being funny. I mean, I was being a little funny when I said it, but she literally couldn't, y'all. It's
hard. It's been really, really hard for her to get that. And you would never think that. And it's just like, it's not even just that, because she also has her other deal breakers and expectations. You have to be a man of some means. I need you to be educated. I need you to be in animation. I need you to have a cute coin. And I want some sex. If you don't have all those things, then I gotta let you go. And rarely she keeps meeting guys that have all these things, and then it's just this one thing, or I have this and I don't have that, and it's just not enough. Because Lil Baby in season 2, he had the one who worked at Ralph's. He would have gave it to her.
You said Ralph? I'm not paying to support him.
The one that worked at Ralph's that was trying to slide her down every Tuesday. Yeah, he probably would have been the one, but you're not checking all my boxes. And I do appreciate that she's waiting and she's not bending. It's just like, because even I really like their dynamic, and the fact that they had all that time in, and I was just like, well, maybe if she just sticks around, maybe until they get married, and because it's like, it's not just an absolute no, but I'm not cool with the sex outside of marriage. She was like, yeah, I can't wait. Damn.
Danny wasn't waiting. She said, never. I will never wait. She's
I would
effectively
never wait. I'm getting to the sex, and I just appreciate. I'm not bending on my boundaries. That's something I desire, along with everything else. And if you can't give me everything I want, I gotta let you go, even if it hurts me and I'm crying on this phone.
Yeah, and she did. And I liked how the aunt comforted her, like, it's fine. You guys just didn't want the same things. You'll move on and you'll find someone else. And like I said, I've been on her IG and seemingly she has met that man. Okay. She got his face blurred out, can't show the face, but he's going to her with conferences. She's showing the dates because one thing about Danny is she's going to put that ish on every single time, honey. She's going to get dressed and she's going to show up and show out. So I wish her, again, nothing but the best for her business, her animation, and for this new
You
relationship.
know what I love? I love the vanity that Danny has. Like, we're trying to adopt. How about we, get somebody to carry that seed? Because I'm not busting up this. Do you see the material? I'm not busting this up. I don't mind a couple of pitter patters, but I'm not carrying no children. I was like, absolutely, Danny. And she said it. I'm here for it.
She knows her own mind. Love Danny down, and she's thriving. Next, we met Pari, I believe it. Pari. And she was brand new this season. So we didn't actually get a lot of time with her, but she is either bi or pan. I couldn't remember. She loves trains down, baby. They have a train fan club that meets and rides the trains. Like, that is her idea of the best time ever. Her favorite color is purple. And she has a mom that she lives with, and her mom is battling, I believe, breast cancer. And so we kind of got like an inner look into her life. She has a sister who I believe is a lesbian or bi as well. And I think she's off at school. And so Pari is the one that's at home with mom presently. And so you kind of see her navigating this, but she has a gorgeous smile, a great energy, and boundaries as well. Because if you don't like the train, Tyra, you have nothing to say to her. She dated a boy in high school, and that was fine. But right now, at this point in her life, it's the coot nanny for her. It's the girls all around the world that she wants. And so we kind of see her journey. And I think the one girl that she goes on a date with, they are actually still together. So what did you think of Pari in our introduction of her and kind of just her whole life situation? Her father passed away as well. And I think she kind of deals with that. But again, I think emotion sometimes is hard for some on the spectrum to emote, right? And so it was just very interesting to hear her journey. What did you think of Pari?
I like meeting Pari. I love that she was a person of her own mind and she just knows exactly what she wants. I love any of them who explore any ounce of just their independence and things that they enjoy. Just like, I'm more than just the spectrum. I have hobbies. I have, friends. I have, that, and her whole little train coalition club and the joy that she was finding in that. I thought that was just really, really adorable. But just even to know that she's been experiencing some of the same things, and she spoke on like being harassed because I am venturing and considering just being a full-blown lesbian, and I had people tell me I was going to hell and I needed to be cast out, and I didn't need to do that. She's like, yeah, I just blocked him. I just blocked him. I just don't care because this is what I want. And just the innocence of it all in her just trying to explore. Like, it's one thing to be trying to explore a relationship with the same sex, and then just trying to mentally grapple with those things, and then just kind of like, I'm trying to discover this just affection at all, but I'm not liking these kisses and these embraces from these boys. I'm not liking this. So just to kind of identify that in yourself, I like this exploration more than I can't remember her name from the previous season.
Oh, yeah.
Hello Kitty.
Young girl. She's so young. I couldn't.
Yeah, she's 18. I can't remember her name, but I'm thinking of the stuff you said. People were showing up with their chests out. You didn't really get into the dynamics as far as who they were setting her up with. Just kind of seemed to be beyond where she was mentally and physically to receive, even if she is trying to explore the same sex. Here, it felt more so yoked, and I just agreed with the way that things were going and the pacing. But more than anything, we knew that she loved trains, and she just really wanted to kiss. I want to kiss. Can I just get a kiss? I just really want to experience that kiss from a girl, and just to make sure, like, solidify that attraction. And yes, Diamond said Journey. Yes.
That's his name,
Yes.
Journey.
Where we had things there to where I kind of felt like they were maybe fixing her up with women who were a little bit more outside at the moment than maybe she was ready to be. I feel like they matched Pari up with a really great candidate, and I can understand why they're still together now.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, hearing how all her trained friends wanted to get with her, but she told them she
Yes.
was into girls now. It's so funny. It was. They were like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
we tried."
Commodity.
But then she told us she didn't like boys anymore. Next, we have the People's Champ. We have the People's Champ, and Connor is the actor. Do you hear me? And must I write you a poem, Mother? You don't understand the things that I'm going through currently. Connor is him. So Connor in season 2, that's when he's introduced, was very, he was mean to them girls. Like
Mean.
it was
Mean.
not giving anything. He ain't like none of them girls in season 2 at all. Get him somebody else. First of all, he is a blonde hater. He wants a brunette. He has a thing for brunettes, and he means that thing. He don't want you if you're blonde. If you're blonde, he might talk to you for a few minutes, but that's about all you're gonna get out of Connor, because the way that they hooked him up with a blonde in this season, honey, and he was like, "Yeah, no." She was grinning and skinning the whole time, and he's like,
No.
yeah, Mom, a blonde? It was before I knew Connor. But we see his evolution in him finally meeting Georgie, honey, the love of his life. And when he met Georgie, baby, he said, "It's something different about her. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I know that I love her. I don't know who I'll be, but I know that I love her." He is so incredibly talented and theatrical. His movie and TV knowledge is probably unmatched. I love his dynamic. The only hesitation I had, and my only note in both season 2 and season 3 for Connor, was that I wished he had more friends, like more peer friends, not just his family, not just his brothers and sisters, not just the mom, but that he had a group almost like Tanner, right? That he could hang out with. And I think post season 3, he actually has that now. I've been following his socials as well, and he seems to be becoming more well adapted. That was my only concern, because before I was like, maybe he's not ready for relationships. Maybe this relationship, friendship dynamic isn't it. But baby, when the right one came through, he said, "I love your braids. Georgie, who will you do something to me, Georgie? I can't explain it." But his evolution has probably been one of the most rewarding to watch from
Yeah.
season 2 to now. What do you think of Connor, Tyra?
Girl, Connor said, "What's all that movement back there?" That's what he said to Georgie. "What's all that movement?" Oh my God, Georgie? It's that girl saw that movement back there. I saw it from the front. That's what Connor said. He didn't, vocalize it, but I understand him, so I knew that's what it was. I'm here for the independence, and I really love. I think Connor is one that would benefit from, not to say that I don't love his dynamic with his mother and his family, but kind of what you were speaking on, that distance and that sense of independence and how much Tanner has flourished. Think about what that would be for Connor. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to see Connor get to the point that he is independent living, because I think it would benefit him and he would grow so much, because we've seen so much just in that fine amount of time. And it seems like he's always mentally considering, and like his mom can live. So Connor, oh my God, slow your roll. You're asking me to wait, too soon, Mom. Relax. Like he's just always really, really self-conscious there. So I would love to see him explore more independence, and maybe that's something that's going to come later on in the future. But baby, Connor was like, oh my God. I was so happy for Connor, because we've seen it. We just saw, and I don't want to say mean. Last season, Connor was anal. Connor was checking them boxes before them
Yeah.
ladies left the table. Like, baby, the speed dating. At least let him
Oh,
down easy, Connor. He's like, no.
that
She
first one he needed to cut, because he said, "You want to ask me any questions?" She said, "No."
no. She doesn't like nature. Oh my goodness. Like, I think I was too hasty in the way that I denied you. I checked the wrong box in your face. Like, would you like to? God, oh my God. Like the hesitation and how in fear he is of just like the most minor things, and just how big these small, they're so small but they're such huge obstacles for Connor. When he was like, oh my god, like something's like happening to me, I've never Georgie, would you like to go on another date with me? Oh my god. It's like, she's like, yeah. And I just love Georgie's energy in comparison, because you need some contrast. She's very like reassured. It's okay, Connor. Yeah, I would love to, but she still has her boundary, because Connor, would it be okay if I kiss you? She's like, well, on the cheek for now. Like, I I appreciate that, but the way that Connor was like, oh my god, this is a feeling that I just can't. Oh my god, I don't know. Like, cut the cameras off. Like, cut them off. I just don't. Georgie just does something, and I just.
Can you play the cats in the cradle right now? I feel like my
Can
life.
you play the cats in the girl that sent me? Can you know that song where they're like cats in the cradle? Can someone like play that, because she's something special, and I love it, because we're not getting it. We've seen Connor's interaction with, a lot of women at this point. And for me, Georgie wasn't, giving up anything, like spectacularly outward. I just think visually, he really, really liked what Georgie had to offer off the bat before he got into the personality, which gave like, so like, oh, like, all of this, oh my god, like, she fine as hell and I don't know what to do with myself. She looked good. That's what Connor's saying, but he can't vocalize. But I love that he finally got, somebody to come home. And I think we're getting more into that independence, which is nice, because he said that he's having his own situation built in the backyard, a little guest house, Connor space. I forgot what he said he was going to call it. It was some theatrical child. But, more of that independence. I'm just really, really, really proud of Connor. And I thought that this was so funny and beautiful at the same damn time.
Absolutely. It really, really was. And I think it was definitely the movement back there. I definitely think it was, oh my goodness, somebody can embody all of these things. And I think she is so sensitive to who Connor is. It's like he does get to be his true self, and she's his perfect counterbalance. Georgie has a great personality. She's got a good sense of humor. I loved when we got to see her interact with his family. I'm like, oh, he done brought her home. Mom, don't embarrass me. Y'all weird. Cut it out. I watched an interview after the fact, and he's like, my mom acts like a college sophomore. It's ridiculous. Like, she doesn't know how to behave herself.
Connor, and that lack of, are you sure it wasn't because you didn't want to be a single mom with a lot of kids? You weren't, desperate for a man? It wasn't that you weren't desperate, mom? Like,
love him down. He's gonna be a truth teller, and that was probably my only other note, is that like I found myself talking to the screen like, Mom, he's gonna be fine. Like, he's going to be fine. You can tell that she's been so used to watching his every move, monitoring him, being there every step of his life, and now this is his journey. And I do feel like she pushed him because she does want him to have an outside connection the same way. Loved his dynamic with his brother. I think they're hilarious. I thought Tier 15 was hilarious.
I don't know what it is. It just sounded good on the phone, and it gave me reassurance. First of all, I love Connor's vocabulary, because make me pop out the thesaurus, Connor. It's like, I didn't know, but I was like, oh God, if we could just get to Tier 4, then I would be okay with that. But 11 and 15 is just too much.
Too much. I don't know. But
I don't know.
Tier 1 is hugging, Tier 2 is kissing. That's what I know. That's what I know for fact. But yeah, Connor's going to be great. And of course, we'll get into the couples a little bit later. Now we meet Madison. Madison was a new addition this year. One thing about Madison, she's the bracelet queen, honey. You need a bracelet? You want to go to a bracelet making party? We're going to go to her apartment, because Madison lives completely independent. She's got her own apartment that is filled with dolls, honey. American Girl dolls, to be specific. I love that she has collections. I love that she's this burst of energy with all of this color and light. Baby, church is important to her. You must love the Lord to be with Madison. She's not playing saying anything else. I think this was the first cast member that we've seen, though, that really had and was fostering relationships with neurotypical people, right?
Mhm.
From her church. Like, she had all the ladies over talking about her dating adventures, what her plan was, honey, even talking about the past, how that man was trying to get the coot nanny and she had to put him out of her apartment. Madison, or Tyra, what did you think of Madison and her journey in season 3?
I love Madison the same way that I love everyone else because when they're younger, there are all these, even at birth, all these stipulations placed on them as to what they want to achieve. And they said you would never, have independent living. You would never be as vocal. You would never, grow beyond a certain mental capacity. And Madison has proved all of that wrong. And it's like I've reached and I've exceeded in everything that you guys told me that I couldn't. But I have yet to experience a real relationship, have my first kiss, and be treated like the princess that I am. Like, oh my gosh, baby, we gonna get this cowboy. We are. Like, I love her register and how she broke things down. Even when we got into that date, that I was like, what's going on here? And it kind of made her feel uneasy that he didn't feel okay. She's like, okay, yo, we need to stop the cameras.
Yeah.
We need to do something. Like, he's not okay. Like, cute guy. Like, I like this, but my expectations for what I want in a man are different, and I don't think he could be that if I'm more outgoing than he is. Like, the way that the perspective rises when it needs to, when it comes to what we're not going to deal with and what we are.
Mhm.
Yes, Madison. But Madison and the dating of it all, because who not kissing on the beach? Who not kissing on the beach? Who not being super affectionate in front of these parents? I don't give a damn.
Not at all.
I don't care. Madison is very much so. I've waited all my life for this moment, and I'm gonna take it all in. Like, there is no like, oh, like I'm gonna be restrained because I don't want to, my mom to see. Like, no. We bust and slide. How
Yeah.
long I've been waiting for you? How long you been across and where you live at in your state, and you're here in my face? Yes, jewelry, got it. Bracelet on, kisses, bring it in. Yes, my love, my king, my cowboy. Like, it was just really them being attentive in the way that they can, and it's all just based around just listening and interest. And I heard you, and I'm going to ask you questions and get to know you based on this. It was just really, really nice. I just love that Madison wasn't so much a grower or needing to come out of her shell. She's already out. She just needs somebody to receive her.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you pointed it out, because that was the one note I really had for season 3, or really for the series as a whole, that made me extremely uncomfortable. And that was her first date.
Yeah.
And I didn't even put a clip in there. I really didn't even want to bring that back to light again. And I get that it's a reality. I don't like that we kind of focused on it and zoomed in and kind of had a couple different moments with him, because he was in an uncomfortable situation. And I loved how she was so perceptive and recognized that, and was like, will you feel better if we go outside? You feel closed in. It's too much going on. And how she even alleviated his concerns, but was still very direct with him. And even he at the end, no, I'll pay for it. I'm the man. I'm going to pay for everything, unlike James. And we'll get to James. But I love Madison. I love her cowboy sweetheart, honey. The way he knew every key to every country song. Oh, that's an A flat. Oh yeah, that's a F sharp. Yeah, I was like, okay, Mr. Cowboy Sweetheart, we'll get into him, honey, with his Pandora and his American Girl dolls and his whole barrage. I thought it was Christmas, Tyra, on that beach. He came with all of the gifts and all of the bags, but again, very vivacious personality. And I love how everyone is so self-aware. And I wonder if that's part of like the treatment that they go through when they're going through therapies and things, because it's like they are so in tune with their needs, their wants, and how they show up in the world. I think it's all a lesson that we could learn from in real life, baby. Here we go, James, the straightforward king. Because what you're never going to do. Listen, that lady told him, I want a family. He said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hate to do this to you. I know you really like me and everything, but there's nothing I can do. I want nothing to do with kids. Oh, do you have I heard a cat in the background. Do you have a cat? I don't like animals either. I'd rather her spend that time focusing on me, Tyra. than the cat. James is a straightforward king. I've loved him down since the first time I saw James. His cut and everything, the haircut and all, and his parents. I think it made me the most emotional because it seemed like for whatever reason, James went on the most dates and had the most fails. Like it was like no, either they said no or he said no. And I was really concerned like his mama was. At one point in season 3, his mom breaks down crying and is like, James, what is going on? And his parents, I think, are the oldest parents.
Yeah.
They're in their 70s. And so I do think that there's this fear of what happens to James in the event. Not that he's not financially sound, because baby, he's counting his coin and works gainfully employed, but what happens as far as familial relations? I'm loving his journey though, because by the end of this, he's gotten all the experiences. And one thing about James, he is the forever optimist. He's like, no, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
There's hope. And by the end of it, he's got his metal queen, honey. He done made a music video with that lady and everything. What do you think of James, Tyler?
Girl, the way James gives me high blood pressure. James gives me high blood pressure, anxiety, then some. I just be like, James, Jesus. James, in such a heightened sense of the spectrum, but also being highly intelligent. It's just a really interesting mix. The way the parents get on James' goddamn nerves, okay? Because leave me alone. Like, the way if anybody needed some independent, the only reason I think James don't live independently is because he always about saving a cute coin. That's the only reason I think James is still at home, because the way he wants his own independence and to not be bothered. I want to have my little mixers with my friends. I want to be treated as an adult. Anytime you say something to James that makes him feel like you trying to son him, no, that's not, no. What do you mean a mature adult beverage? I've been an adult. Like, what the hell you mean? Like, the way the parents be working his nerves, but the way that it's all out of love and concern, that's adorable. But if James want his space, like, oh God, oh God.
Could you stop?
Please,
I got it.
I got it. Why are you starting a fight? Who asked you to start a pit? Like, girl, James, stay over it. But the way James be pissing me off, like, James, the way James played Miss Thickums to the left, I was like, James, look, James.
About her teeth. He said, I hope it's not a cavity.
Girl, talking about the discoloration on that lady's teeth, like, it was just, girl, James just makes me so mad, because I'm like, baby, James, all right, it's only so many women out here and so many dates that we're going to be going on year after year after year, and we're going to find something. Like, James is not bending at all. He's going to be respectful, and, we can be friends, and maybe we can hang, but baby, you're not the one. You're not the one. But yeah, the whole discoloration of the tooth, and the way he was kind of fixated on the looks, and like, yeah, it's very, very vampire. Like, what you got going on? It's spooky. It's spooky over there. I be needing James to bend a little bit, but if we don't want to, that's fine. It was really interesting who he walked away with. It's always interesting to me with James who he's interested in versus who's interested in James. Because I'm like, James, I would think James would want somebody who's, more into him and just kind of doting and outward with affection. And like, James, I really think you're so great. You're so cute. You're so interesting. I saw you on the show. I do look a lot different. I saw my work clothes. Like, very, and James is just like, no. James goes for a certain type. And I'm like, James, what? But hey, this is what works for James in James's mind. So I just try to be receptive of it. And if he wants his metal queen, because the way I would have been over there with them thick thighs that was saving lives, okay?
And she was so into him. And I think it's very interesting because, some of these dates are curated by production, but a lot of James' dates came from his Instagram. He's been carrying on conversations with the first lady with the aqua hair that we saw, the aqua braids. That was from Instagram, who wanted a family. And she was very calm. And I thought, okay, this could be a thing, until she said she wanted a kid. He wasn't having that.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker for
And then we had Bessie at the end, Big Bessie, and he wasn't feeling her at all. And I thought she was as cute as she wanted to be. I thought she was adorable. And in the way she was like, I'm used to being rejected.
I know, that hurt me so bad. I was like, no, God damn it, James. That was so hard for her. Like, 'cause I thought it was like something that was going to grow into something, because, which I guess goes to show, I guess, my own lacking, just desiring for James not to have someone like, how bendable are we on someone not meeting our physical expectation? But we think with James and just how far he is on the spectrum and how heightened he can be emotionally, there is a sense, and it's negative to think like, you just be happy, like she really likes you, James, just accept it. And James like, no. And I'm like, and I have to check myself, like, it shouldn't be that way. But I really did. I did not like hearing her say that. I was like, oh, but it's just a part of, dating, and everybody's not going to receive you in that way. But I get it. But I'm not going to act like I wasn't hurting for her when he was talking about the discoloration on her tooth.
I was too. He said, I hope it's not a cavity. It's in your molar down there, your bicuspid. I was like, James, where are you diagnosing this lady? You should probably go to a dentist and get that checked out.
So can I say, is it okay if I say these things in front of you? There are some ladies here. Are you guys comfortable? Like, we gonna get consent every time. James is the consent king.
Yeah. And let me not call that lady Bessie, y'all. Her name ain't Bessie. I just said that because it just sounds like a name to say. Who found love, Tyra? Let's get into it. Pari and Tina, honey, they found a love. They both have allergies. Right? She's the one riding the train. When they passed the lady in the park getting married, Pari said, maybe that'll be us one day. Tina hesitated, and I said, what you mean? Because what you would never do is play on Pari's top. And she's like, oh, yeah, maybe one day. I said, that's appropriate, Tina. Then, of course, we have Madison and Tyler, her cowboy sweetheart. And again, he's coming with gifts. He came with that Pandora bracelet after the first meeting. He came with roses. He came with her favorite doll, the one she didn't have. Okay. I said, you better know what it is. And he works at Publix. He's proud of his Publix apron. He said, listen, and it's a great company to work for. Okay. Matter of fact, then we have Connor and Georgie. And this is, listen, will you be my one and only? Will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my one? Because Georgie make me feel like I've never felt before. And then, of course, David and Abbey, because it's always going to be David and Abbey. We know. Out of these four couples, drop it in the chat. Tyra, let me know. Talk to me about these four couples, and who is your favorite? Who's your favorite couple so far?
I can't like put David and Abbey in like a fave, like, because they maybe we've been solidified. It's just an expectation at this point. They're definitely my fave, but I can say that I'm looking forward to the growth that I think Georgie could bring out of Connor. The more comfortable he gets, like, girl, if we get into a next season and Connor got them feet, I'm here with my woman, the love of my life, the light of my, my sunshine. She's everything I need and more. I'm devoted. I'm like, if we get there and he's in that type of state, independent in his back house, I'm here for it. Okay. I'm looking forward to that. But David and Abbey will always be just they're the top tier. David and Abbey have so much stock for me. Like, if anything happened to where it was like we had to separate, girl, it would break my whole heart.
No.
I have a lot of stock in them as a unit, because it's like it doesn't get any better. So I'm definitely gonna go with David and Abbey, because I'm just waiting for us to be invited to the wedding, because that's the only place we got to go, getting to this wedding, cohabitating, knocking some boots. That's the only place we got to go, and I'm looking forward to that for them. It's gonna be beautiful. Maybe Madison and Tyler.
Steam heat. That's steam heat.
Steam is hot. It's hot. I was going to say that. Though I love a good steam heat situation, I'm glad we're exploring all that kissing. I still want them to get more into, because Madison is very much so intelligent and has, other interests outside of, her collections and her bracelets. And she's still, always growing as a person, and him and his DJing and career and Publix and all that. I want them to make sure that they're getting to that while we get into the I was like, oh, that was like, we don't care who around. This PDA, okay?
He was like, well, all right.
Well, all right. Like, you could get, like, it was very much get a room. Very much so get a room. And Pari and Tina, I'm a little nervous for them because I feel like Pari was a little more serious, than Tina was. So it kind of feels like something, if we go into another season, we'll see Pari, exploring
Other
new options because Tina maybe because Pari ready. Okay. She's ready. She wants that relationship where Tina, she kind of gives off. She's more so a little bit more not as experienced. And right now she's content with really just looking for friends. And if that turns into something cool, but baby, David and Abbey gonna eat every time.
And Brittany says, yeah, comparing David and Abby isn't fair. I would agree with Tyra on that. Yeah, I listen, and I love their love. It is a sound and constant love. It's a reassured type of faithful love, and I love that for them. But honestly, if I'm picking anybody, my favorite couple of the season, it's Connor and Georgie because she didn't change that man's life. Connor is not the same Connor that we knew before. And that's what a good woman can come in and do that. I'm just gonna sit it right there. A good woman can come on in the room
Girl.
and do all of that. But yeah, for Madison, it was her cowboy sweetheart for me, kissing her in the mouth in front of her daddy and not giving a single damn.
Don't care.
For
Girl,
every answer, he said, "All right, yeah, I work." So
so have you had any other girlfriends? Yeah, I've plenty, but this is my love right here. This is the one I love the most. I was like, okay.
listen, back to slobbing every 2 minutes. And it was like, oh my gosh. Like even the brother was like, wow.
Wow, this is new. It's fresh. Never thought I would see you outside this way.
But yeah, and Pari and Tina, I'm because she's autistic as well. We discovered that Tina is autistic as well. And I kind of chalked that up to maybe that was just part of her personality, like the not being over eager. But I did wonder how that's going to compare with Pari because Pari seems to wear her feelings, emotions on her sleeve in terms of the relationship and what she wants. So I'm again, like I said, when she saw that bride and was like, oh, maybe that'll be us one day. And I was like, oh God, don't say that, girl. But and the hesitation on Tina's part. But I mean, we'll see what happens on their journey, baby. They seemed happy riding that train together, honey. So I don't know. Easing on in to this last slide. Tyra, what's next? What's next? What can we anticipate in a season 4 if we get a season 4? And what do you think everyone's up to or going to be up to? Are we going to be introduced to any new people?
Most definitely. I think we're gonna get introduced to some new people, and not for nothing. I'm always here for the different sides of the spectrum, but I really like the journey. I really like seeing Connor before versus Connor now. So it sounds weird to say that. I would like that. Hopefully we get people who are like really, really like far and recluse and just really afraid. I'm like, no, that sounds so bad. But I like to see them come out of their shells and kind of like Pari already arrived long ago versus what we're getting. Like I said, I think Connor's gonna be kicked back. Okay, living La Vida Loca in his apartment adjacent of the house with his woman Georgie. And if not her, he's gonna have some friends. I think we're gonna get into that. I think David and Abby are gonna be walking down an aisle because she want her name dropped. She's made it very clear. Abby said it don't get no better than this. Mufasa's gonna sing at the wedding. Yeah, put the ring on.
When they sang Lion King, can you feel the love tonight? Y'all better duet.
Absolutely. I think that's that's gonna happen. I don't know, James and his heavy metal queen girl. I'm always unsure because, like I said, James tends to go for someone that he's more into versus who's more into him. So it's hard to read. Like, oh, okay, she here for James. And James is a lot, so it's gonna take a special kind of person to be able to really receive him. And I would love to see how much calmer or different James is now that he's experienced what's hopefully been a fulfilling relationship for him, whether they're together or not. I want to see if he's chilling, okay? Because I be thinking just before every little day, James need a shot of Hennessy. Who else you got? Maybe Madison. Baby, if it's not gonna be her sweetheart cowboy, it's gonna be somebody else. Cause Madison has finally, got out there. She's had her first kiss. She's, had her little bouts of affection, and this is what it feels like. It feels good. So even if it's not that, because that they do have some distance between each other, but I'm here for it. Let's
Let me
see.
go back. I'll get you right. I didn't
And
even think.
Tanner. I think I'm just leaving out Tanner. I would like to see, girl.
Danny.
Hopefully, this man that they're hiding, Danny, is because he has the potential to be on the next season. And I want us to know. Hopefully, it's that.
Mm.
We better open the next season with Danny going, "I'm not a virgin anymore." Like, I want to see that. A little animation of her just dancing because she lost her virginity. I want to see. I want that for Danny. I want that. I need that. I want her to explore that intimacy that she longs for so much. And for Tanner, I I want Tanner to have like a serious suitor, like serious, just to see like how it goes, because there is a tendency, like I said, with Tanner for them to approach his encounters in more of a childlike sense. And I think Tanner's capable of a little bit more.
I do too.
And I think if we put him with the right person, we'll see him blossom romantically versus kind of what we're getting now.
Yeah. And I do wonder that. That's kind of like, I guess, the bigger thing, depending on where they are on the spectrum, and their potential for growth and maturity. What does that look like in terms of family planning? Because at the end of the day, they're all still adults, young adults at that, with libidos. How, I wonder how that comes into play, especially with like a David and Abby, who clearly have steam, clearly are progressing in that way. Is it wisdom to reproduce? Is it their choice? Do they still have their parents as power of attorney who make those choices for them? I do sometimes wonder about the nuance of that. I don't know if that's appropriate to get into in the show, but I would be interested to see because James, again, has this awareness like, no, I know me, and I know that's not something I want for my life. But then, like in Abby, it seems like she'd be open to that possibility of having a baby. So I do wonder what that looks like for people who are less high functioning. I'll say that. But yeah, I'm excited. David and Abby, we definitely need a wedding. Tanner, I do want him to find his queen, honey. I want Tanner to find his queen who can go and do all his fun missions with him, honey, and meet Jack Black and do these appearances and just going out spreading joy. I would love to see him with a partner to do that. As far as Danny is concerned, I agree with you. Girl, keep that man a secret as long as you can. Enjoy him. I'm interested to know, though, because Danny has approached men who have not been on the spectrum. So I would be interested in seeing a neurotypical and a neurodivergent or autistic person. Kind of, we see that next season if we get a season 4. With Pari, I don't know if Pari will be back. I don't know if she'll be back. But it would be interesting just to see her evolution and growth. I know, like, we had Kaylee in some of the earlier seasons, we had Journey, and I think they had less dynamic storylines.
Yeah.
So they kind of stuck with the
Oh
brother.
yeah, baby, this is a business. This is a business. It's a show, but we're also trying to have a good time. Not Brittany. Brittany, I said the same thing. I was like, I think David and Abby didn't explored.
I thought so too.
You know.
I don't know, Lord. Nita says, and thank you for sharing. She shared that she has a son on the spectrum, and she's considering applying for the show for him. That would be awesome. But parents have to help usher those conversations. Yeah, that's what I would think, because that would get sensitive, right? Because they want their autonomy, their independence, and especially once you're married, that's my wife, that's my husband. I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. She says, we don't want that for James. I love his self-awareness.
She's like, are you sure? It's just because there's a lot of women here. Is it okay for me to bring up those conversations? Like, are you guys comfortable? Are you comfortable?
Because he says, I have no right to tell you what to do with your body.
Right. We play a very minor role when it comes to birthing children. It's just like girl James said, all we do, we provide the sperm. What I'm gonna tell you about yourself, girl? If you want to abort that mission, you have every right.
Vic says, I think Tanner's just getting started. His lady is coming on the way.
Mhm.
Period. I think, listen, you can't be this good. You know what I mean? You can't be as good as Tanner and not get all of the things in some point.
It's
Oh,
coming.
Diamond, hold on. Let me get over in these TikTok streets. Danny revealed them. Girl,
Oh, Lord.
let me tiptoe over there and be nosy. But yeah, so then Connor, I think he and Georgie will be together. I don't think there's any separating him. I don't think a pack of wild boars could tear him from her in all theatrical momentum, just like he would give. He let that lady down. Hey,
The way
TP.
his knees weakening, can't tell. Can't. I told him. He said he saw that motion. So what's all that movement back there, Georgie? Girl, what's all of that? All these curves and this dark haired beauty. Yeah, I'm spit. I'm set.
Curves, no breaks. I think Madison and her cowboy sweetheart are locked in, honey. He ain't letting that good thing go. He is not letting his good thing go. James and this metal queen, I don't know about her. She's very docile. You saw he met the Disturbed, right?
Yes,
He went
of
to the
course.
show and
And you know, I love Disturb. I was like, yes, James.
they were so kind to him. I loved that. They let him say everything he wanted to say. I followed you since I was 13. I've loved you guys for a very long time. I bought every record. I have everything. Thank you for taking the time. Will you take a picture with my girlfriend? I love that. But she's so docile and soft spoken.
Yeah.
But that might work for him. James might, his parents old school. That might work. That might work for him.
And then we got to remember James is a man of a certain age, you know?
He is 35-year-old straightforward king. But y'all, that was season 3 of Love on the Spectrum. Tyra, I just have to say thank you. Thank you for making me watch this because I would have never watched. Because again, I was just so in fear about how it was going to be presented, and I just didn't want them to be a spectacle. And like I said, out of all 3 seasons, there's really only one scene, and that came in season 3 that made me cringe or a little bit uncomfortable. But I thought they did a great job as showing people as people, without any stigma or judgment or exploitation. And I think that's very, very, very special. Any other thoughts before we get out of here and I let the people know about this week's blockbuster movie night?
Girl, nothing. Just, I hope to meet anybody half where, they are. We could learn a whole lot.
Period.
I encourage everyone to watch this show because I'm learning with them about myself, about, what my boundaries are and what expectations should be, and not, settling about not, I'm trying to get some movement back there too, Connor. I'm trying to, if it ain't Connor, I don't want it. If you not that giggity when you see me coming, I don't want it. I don't want it. Just boundaries and being intuitive and just listening. This is a master class in the minor things to have a successful relationship.
Absolutely. Majoring in the minors. And I think, like I said, it's definitely a course in dating and relationships and how we should all be this straightforward and not, compromise on the important things to us. This, again, beautiful, 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 straightforward. You guys don't forget, tomorrow we are doing a late night live. We are going to be watching Pop the Balloon live, hosted by Yvonne Orji on Netflix. It'll be a late live for us, so it would have already aired, but Tyra and I will be watching it together, and we'll be in the Discord as well as here. If you guys want to join in, we had to move Good American Family to Friday, so that will be Friday. We'll also be doing a live watch of Black Mirror, the first 2 episodes on Friday night, and we'll be doing the Never Ever Mets episode 2, watching that as well. And then on Saturday, y'all know that's for Raising Kanan and Blockbuster Movie Night. I am going to leave y'all with Tyra's choice for this week's Blockbuster Movie Night. If you're not a member already, consider the memberships. Go to our profiles and do that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for the support. We appreciate you real bad. And let's take you guys out with the choice. Have a great one, guys.
Oh, you must not know what you just thought. Me and my
go Lord, give a fuck about this party. We gon' step on shooting cars. Get my coin and swipe that bitch, and now the spirit to charge. Making moves, be no bitches, I be really March. I got hands for a hoe, I get bands for a show. He want chance after chance after chance. No, I keep saying free little folk, do my dance on them folks. If it's up, it's going down soon as I land on them folks.